When I say I live in New Zealand, people picture the magical landscapes and say, wow, that's so cool. But unless you live in one of those epic places, New Zealand is just a regular little old urban hometown that, like every other teenager in a coming of age film, I don't like and I can't wait to get out of.
I hate California. I want to go to the East Coast.
So when I decided to quit my job and travel the world with the intention of settling somewhere overseas, I was a little bit indecisive about whether or not I wanted to travel around New Zealand one last time. Last year, when our borders were still closed, I did a 2-month solo road trip around the South Island, and I had a marvellous time, but there were some things that I didn't do that I still kind of wanted to. So I decided I would go back on the road one last time. In this cinematic series, I'll be travelling around the South Island of New Zealand by myself, summiting mountains, exploring new places, trying not to kill myself by going outside in New Zealand's fluctuating weather conditions, and also seeing what the country is now like with tourists back in it. I hope you'll join me on this journey by subscribing, as I'll be posting 1 or 2 new videos every single week documenting my travels. In this first episode, I travel across the Cook Strait by ferry, explore Martha's Beach and the beautiful Kaikoura Peninsula, find my footing being back on the road, and rediscover the pros and the cons of solo travel. I hope you enjoy. Every time I leave the North Island and travel to the south, I'm continually amazed by the absolute beauty of the landscape. As the ferry glides into Queen Charlotte Sound, it feels like I'm seeing my country again for the first time, and it never gets old.
Ramp that I don't like at all.
Seriously, this ramp is like actually my worst nightmare. I hate it every time I go on it. Please just let me go, please just let me go, please. Thank you. Woo! We are touched down in Picton. That actually seemed like it took less time than yeah. Hello? Yeah. It's a lovely, lovely day in Picton, if you couldn't see. Right up. Like, it's actually quite a nice shot. Once you get off the ferry at Picton, the nearest city is Blenheim. However, I decided to go through and stay somewhere I hadn't been before, Martha's Beach on the northeast coast.
We have arrived, so I eat, I pee, and I go to sleep. Yes.
Breakfast, and I tried to execute some shots for a short film idea I have. Don't know how it's going to turn out, but hopefully it'll work. And now I'm going to walk around towards the lighthouse. I can't actually remember what it's called. What's it called? At any rate, I'm at Martha's Beach, so it's that lighthouse, and I think it says 4 hours return. Might walk all the way, might not, and then I'm going to drive through to Kaikoura. So yeah, come with me for a cool lighthouse walk that no one probably ever does. This walk was absolutely stunning, and I only saw a couple of other people while I was out. The landscape is completely unique and incredibly immersive, so I think I'll just let the environment take over, as it's going to be better than anything I would be able to say, as I know the sounds of nature are undoubtedly going to be better than my voice. driving down to Kaikoura from here, which is like an hour or so to Jimmy Armour's probably, because there's a free camping spot there and I've been there before and I like it. Might stop at a few spots along the way, and that's all on the agenda for today. There is no reception here, so I cannot look at anything. I'm out of touch with the real world. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? No internet? I didn't know there were still places like that in the world. Obviously the best way to travel New Zealand is by vehicle, and it means you're going to be doing a lot of driving, and sometimes that can end up being a bit boring, particularly if you're the only person in the vehicle and you're just trying to listen to music or talk to yourself like a sociopath. But I have to say that the drive from Blenheim through to Kaikoura is one of my favourite in the country. The scenery is absolutely stunning. Seeing the beautiful blue ocean on one side and then snow-capped mountains on the other is definitely a unique experience that you're going to struggle to find anywhere else in the world. Once I got to Kaikoura, I stopped on the Esplanade and whipped up a quick lunch of guac and chips before heading round to my favourite freedom camping spot, Jimmy Armour's Beach. I wanted to get there early as there's only 6 spots available and they can sometimes fill up earlier in the day. If you miss out, you have to go to one of the other freedom camping areas in Kaikoura, but in my opinion, none of them are as nice as Jimmy Armour's.
So small.
However, I always have time to stop and get some epic drone shots. This is reminding me of After Sun. So I'm on my way to do the coastal walkway because I've never done it before, and I'm using my phone because my camera was not charging on the right volt plug-in, so it's on 5% and I kind of want to keep it for tomorrow. So yeah, let's go do some walking. I did learn from this experience and my camera was fully charged and operational for the rest of the trip. However, I felt that the landscape along the peninsula was so beautiful that I did in fact go back with my camera and do the whole walk again. However, this was right at the end of the trip, so you're going to have to wait to the very last episode to see that beautiful footage that I absolutely adored. I got to see a few seals and some llamas as well for some reason. After the llamas disappeared, so did the sun, and it was time to go to sleep, as I had a big walk to prepare for the next day, summiting Mount Fife.
In next week's episode, we summit Mount Fife, a 1602 metre peak covered in snow, nestled between the Kaikoura Ranges, a series of snow-capped mountains to the west, whilst you then turn back round to look at the stunning blue waters of the Pacific Ocean to the east. It's a magical experience and I can't wait to take you along on the journey with me. So, subscribe. Toodles! See you next week.